No, the shift. I think there's some logic to it. They're using the data, and the frequency. I always think, since I made my living on knowing where to position and where to play, you make adjustments pitch to pitch. The shift doesn't allow you to make adjustments within the shift, and I think they're starting to find out that it doesn't prove out to be as good as everyone thought it did.
Mm-hmm.
It was a new thing. Everybody jumped to it. Tampa Bay was one of the first ones to really use it a lot under Joe Madden. And then Joe Madden's now with Chicago, and whatever analytics they have, they don't shift as much.
Mm-hmm.
They're the least shifting team, I think, in the league. So it runs its course, but it's built on a logic. To me, hitters can be one way when they're defensive or two strikes, and they can be another way when they're ahead in the count. And the shift doesn't provide for all of that. And I think everybody's, as far as the strikeouts and all that kind of stuff, I think they've resigned themselves to the fact that at the big league level, strikeout is just an out.
Yeah.
You're going to make so many outs anyway, so we want to be armed and ready for a two-strike mistake. And if you get that two-strike mistake, you got to have an aggressive enough swing to make them pay for it.
If teams had shifted against you, I mean, you were a great opposite field hitter. I mean, they probably wouldn't have shifted against you, but what would your mentality have been if they were doing that? Against like today,
I think you take what's given to you. I mean, especially some of the left-handed hitters, you're not seeing the back control, the ability to actually shoot a ball to the opposite field. I like putting hit and runs on. I like, especially when you weren't swinging well or a guy that you couldn't get the ball in the air. I was a really good double play candidate, so I'd rather have the guy running while I hit that ground ball.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it would shoot the hole. But if you look at the defense and they're playing you a certain way and you have the ability to handle the bat, you could make them pay for overloading one side. But I think hitters are stubborn.
Why doesn't Bryce bunt down the third baseline?
Mm-hmm.
Or slap one down the third baseline?
Well, you have to do it, first of all.
Well, true. You got to know how to do it. He obviously isn't comfortable doing it.
And I think the team necessarily doesn't want him. It would be a victory for the other team to say, okay, you bunted it down there. You didn't swing the bat. You didn't hit a home run.
Yeah.
So we're taking some of your offensive firepower.
Yeah, but would you get him out of the shift eventually?
I would think that it would work because there's not people on team game for offense. But
it could just be one at bat a game. If he could just lay one down, get there, and Murphy hits a double, and then he scores.
Oh, I agree. I agree with taking what is given to you then making them pay for it and creating an inning.
So if you were managing Bryce Harper, would you urge him to do that?
I think that we'd work on it. We'd work on it. We'd try to do it in spring training. You got to get them comfortable with it because that game speed at 95, 96 miles an hour and it's running. If you don't do it regularly, it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah,